incorporating the scalp. Go around the ears. They still typically like their hair kind of pulled on, you know, your typical kind of Swedish stuff. And then I'm gonna come into your face, just so you know. Mm-hmm. So you can still do some good jaw work from this angle. Come up along. Remember, we still always go up with our strokes on the face. You can really feel those real tight spots at the joint, so I like to just do little circles or my little walk, kind of mentioned in the past. And I use pretty firm pressure. I feel like most people's jaws can handle a good amount of pressure. Is that pressure okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you can go along the forehead. At this point, they're usually sleeping, so pretty much most prenatals, they sleep because they're in a comfortable position. And I don't bother them at all. Obviously, when you flip them, you have to, but sometimes in my mind, I'm like, this is probably the most they've slept, and like, it just can't be comfortable being pregnant, especially farther along. You can even get some of the front of the neck. I don't go too crazy in the front. They're usually got, you know, extra blood, fluid. You don't want to be like in the artery area. But you can definitely do a really nice face, neck, shoulder. And then the last one is pecs. So I'm just gonna do a little bit more in the neck here. Just like any other massage, you just want to spend the most time on whatever their complaint is. And then if you notice stuff is really tight, feel free to work it a little bit more, but we don't do anything too crazy, so. Say goodbye with some nice petrissage. And then I'm gonna come in to do a little bit of pec work. So you can still do a good amount of petrissage on the traps from this side. And then if you want to do some pec work, I'm just gonna lift up her arm here, and I'm gonna put my arm underneath, and I'm gonna have you just relax your arm there. Mm-hmm. Make sure everything's nice and tucked in here. Your pillow's like choking you, but as long as they're comfortable. I mean, I just gave it to her so she could do what she wants with it. So without being super invasive, I like to just kind of pull. Oop, does that feel okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Her shoulder just popped. Mm-hmm. You're poppy today.
I am.
So this is, we're rubbing against the clavicle. So you know how like sometimes we pinch the clavicle and go across it? Well, now I'm just taking like my fingers here. I'm going to the sternum and I'm pulling it out. And I think this feels really nice because obviously when you're pregnant, your boobs swell up. So like all of this tissue gets super stretched and just has to do way more than it's used to. So we'll just pull along here, do some stripping here. And then you can also have them put their arm kind of up towards their face a little bit. Does that feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you can even get into the subscap here if you really wanted to. So kind of lat and come up, and you can kind of get in there. Is that tender?
No, no.
Okay. So coming up and into the shoulder blade here. And you can even do a little like range of motion kind of thing. You can, what's this word? I want to say comb, like the neck to the shoulder attachment here. You can really hook your fingers under the shoulder blade, kind of ride along it. So it really depends on what they've got going on, but finding like the attachments in the shoulder and just kind of, since we can't go super deep, it's more just like petrissage, friction, help this stuff feel a little bit better because it's all stretched and they're swollen. And when you're done, you're just gonna lift up the arm like this, take your arm out and set it down, do a nice like connective stroke, and then kind of say goodbye to it all. And then I always re-drape their arm before I flip them. That way it's not a really awkward situation. So when I'm re-draping, I come in, I like to support the like whole arm here, bringing it up and just gently lifting the sheet and putting it down. I like to kind of tuck them in. I still do my compression just like a normal goodbye. And then I'm ready to take out the pillows and flip them. Do you guys have any questions?
So the head is just part of the face jaw rolling from the neck.
Yeah, I mean, head I guess is more of like scalp massage. Honestly, they are almost always asleep at this point. They just love it. Anything you can do. I mean, when you're sidelining, you can't, I mean, you're really able to get like around the ear a lot more, and like all these little attachments here. You just don't go crazy on them. You can still do like some hair pull, like a little bit of a hair pull. But yeah, I feel like everything is shifted with pregnancy. So like pretty much anything feels good. But yeah, definitely want to, if they're comfortable with getting hair oil in their hair, definitely do a good amount of scalp work just because it's so relaxing. But there's nothing too different about it than other than the position they're in. And